Hey, welcome to this week's edition of Get Booked. Hey Jennifer, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about graphic novels in our Black Voices Matter and Small Town Charm in our romance category.
Cool. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Alright, so we've talked about both of mine a couple times. I really wanted to grab Varian Johnson's Twins, but that was checked out. Still, it's a really great graphic novel about twins who are running against each other in the student council for president. I think it's student council, or maybe it's class president. Either way, it's really great. There's like some political stuff, there's twin stuff. Each twin they're identical and they're starting to separate, and so they have a lot of feelings.
That's a middle grade graphic,
It is a middle grade graphic. It's really cute. Alright, so New Kid. We've talked about this, and Class Act. We've talked about this before. 7th grader. He goes into a new school. He's really excited about drawing, and he kind of doesn't really want to be at this school. He wants to be at an art school, but his parents are making him go to this school because they are parents, and they think that this school is better for him than the drawing school. It's filled with a bunch of white kids and a couple black characters who all get mistaken for each other, and there's a lot of microaggressions, and there's a lot of talk about racism in class, and feelings, and boys smelling, and donuts, and there's just a lot of great stuff with these two books. There is a third book on the way, so excited about that.
I thought it was just a 2-book set. Or did you get a third book last minute?
I thought there was a third book coming.
No, it was just 2 books. Everybody wants 3 books, but there was 2 books. His contract was for 2 books. Also,
I think there's more coming.
Jerry Craft is also a local Connecticut author as well. And if you're wondering what a microaggression is, you should just check out The New Kid because Jerry Craft explains it very clearly.
Yes.
Cool. So I went a little bit different. So my first book is Vita The Wilds. This is a different type of zombie apocalypse book. And the zombie apocalypse has happened, and now we're kind of in the aftermath of it. And it was like this is a contained volume, there's no more, this is it. So if you want like a really cool dystopian story, so Vita is a black, I want to say they are also Latinx too, so black Latinx and non-binary comics creator. This book is really cool. Instead of it being like really gory zombies, they are infected by some type of spore, and so they start blooming all these flowers, right? And so one of the things you always get into with zombie books very quickly is the have and the have-nots. And it's kind of interesting how, like, the haves, everybody at the top, they're a bunch of white guys, and everybody at the bottom seems to be a bunch of people of color who are doing all the dirty work because somebody has to go out and make runs to other compounds, try and find, like, you know, oh, there's an abandoned grocery store, let's go in and see if we can try and get in there and not hopefully die or get infected by the spores. There's just kind of got like that whole like sci-fi classism thing going for it, and it's got like there's a whole thing where there's a kidnapping, there's like edge of your seat action. It was really good. So that was my first pick. Also, it's really pretty, which is weird to say in a zombie book because they're full of flowers. It's really disconcerting. It's like environmental terror too.
Oh, nice. That might be a zombie book I could read.
Yeah, you could. There is like some, like, I want to say there's like some gun violence and stuff in it too, because of course there's kidnapping and like raiding compounds and whatnot. So, but you watch enough spy thrillers, you'll be fine.
I do. Spy thrillers are my jam. Alright, we've talked about this one again too. March, it's a trilogy. Book 3 was checked out. This is John Lewis's trilogy about the civil rights movement. Really good. If you haven't read these, grab them. It also, as you can see, works for civil rights heroes as well as graphic novel.
Cool. So there's been a couple of these lately. Octavia Butler, who is an awesome black fantasy writer, wrote a bunch of really cool stuff that's now like fundamental for your sci-fi fans. Both Kindred and Parable of Sower, this is Parable of Sower I have in my hands, have now been adapted into graphic novels. I'm not always big on graphic novel adaptations, but I am in this case because it's helped kind of translate this work to younger readers who may not be as familiar with Octavia Butler. And this one is very much like a dystopian type read, which I think, who doesn't love dystopian, that is a teenager. So
I kind of love it, and this dystopian world, sort of, right now.
Well, yeah, there's been for like, let's say the past 4 years, there was a lot of like, just read Parable of the Sower. We're living in it right now. So, like, yes, I agree with you. What's your next one? Are we moving on?
We are moving on to Small Town Charm and romance. I grabbed a bunch because romance and small town is my jam. But a lot of them go together.
I held myself back because I knew Jennifer could not stop herself.
Just kidding, only 2 of them go together. I'll go. Alright, so this is Sherryl Woods in the Eagle Point. This is the start of the Chesapeake Shores series. If you have seen the Chesapeake Shores, it's a show on the Hallmark Channel. The books are...
No.
Right? What? The books are a little bit different, but they're kind of basically the same. So, Abby O'Brien Winters has gotten divorced from her husband. She and her 2 kids come back to Chesapeake Shores. Her sister Jess has bought an inn. It has some money. There's some money issues, and Abby is coming back to help Jess figure out those issues. And then she meets Trace Riley, her one-time high school boyfriend, almost fiance. Thought she's gonna, marry him and have the Chesapeake Shores life. So, does she actually do that?
I don't know. I guess I have to read it.
I guess you do. You want me to go again, or you want to go?
You should go twice.
All right. So we talked about this one too. Kristen Higgins, The Best Man. Faith and her family own Blue Heron Winery. It's in a small upstate New York vineyard. She was jilted at the altar. Now she's back home, and of course she's got to deal with all like the past. And she runs into the police chief, who is the best friend of her former fiance. And there may or may not be some sparks between the 2 of them.
That sounds awkward.
Kristen Higgins I really love. She is a Connecticut author. She's very funny. Her books are great.
Cool. So my first book is a YA, new adult-ish kind of, because the characters just graduated from high school. So it is Lily Vale's Small Town Hearts. Have you read this one?
I have.
Yes. So everybody's getting ready to go to college, but our main character, Babe Vogel, is like, she's excited to have her last summer in this small town, which is called, I completely forgot, Orr's Rest, a small Maine beach town. And her ex-girlfriend's still in town, so that's causing some problems. But then all of a sudden this new cute boy shows up at the cafe, and she's like, what's this about? I don't have time for this. Like, my life's about to get started. But who doesn't have time for summer love? So, and also, it is the middle of winter. Read a beach read, because it'll take you away.
Yes.
I'm tired of being cold, Jennifer.
I'm tired of being cold, too.
Cool.
My next one is a Jenn McKinlay. It is about a dog. This is the first in a trilogy set in Bluff Point, Maine. Something about Maine. She also, Mackenzie, they call her Mac, also has been left at the altar. And maybe has a little romance with her best friend's brother. And now she's back in town for her best friend's wedding. And of course she has to see the brother, and And obviously there's a cute dog.
Because it's Jenn McKinlay.
It is. And it's called About a Dog. And there's a dog on the cover, so it's perfect. The dog is very sweet and very funny, if I remember. Oh, the dog's name is Tulip. She's a rescue. Cute.
Well, so...
It's been a while since I read that, but I could not put that down. I do remember that.
Is your last pick 2 books?
It is.
Okay. So I will go. So yeah, so this is Melissa Brayden's Entangled. I might have talked about this one before. I don't remember. I am pushing it though because the new one is about to drop in March. Like, we have it coming in for the library, but I might have ordered a copy for myself because I can't wait. I want to find out what happens. Because this is the first one, Entangled. The next one is 2 to Tangle, and then I can't remember what the third one's called. That's about to drop. But Melissa Brayden usually does books, if they're not a one-shot, it's a friend group. And so this one, Joey Wilder, her dad died, so she's inherited the Tangle Valley vineyard. It is in Tangle Valley. It is this cute, adorable town. Pretty much every shop has a pun name, which I am totally here for. Like, there's the Boot and Scoot, which is where everybody goes to go line dancing. There's also, oh gosh, there's the cafe. It's like, I can't remember the name of it off the top. It's something about the bacon biscuit. Oh, it's the bacon biscuit, but it's like BACON. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of other, and then like the second one you get even more pen names, and like they all go around town. So like the town ends up kind of being like this fourth character. You got 3 friends, but then the town definitely is the setting. So it's one of those, like, the first one is an enemies to lovers. So, Joey has this vineyard, and she has ideas for it. Her dad dies, it's really sad, so she's grieving. But then, all of a sudden, there's a resort that's going up on the hill. It's like an eyesore. She can see it every day. She, like, glares at it from her porch while she drinks her coffee. So Becca Crawford comes to town because she's gonna manage the resort. And so, of course, they meet, and it doesn't go well at all. Actually, it goes really well until Joey figures out who she is, and she's just like, I want nothing to do with you. And Becca's just like, but I'm just doing my job. Like, I love this town. I want to showcase this town. Maybe we can have your wine in the restaurant. Like, so it kind of goes from there. There was also a cute dog named Skywalker in this one. The other one also has a dog in it. He's a very lazy golden retriever named, I think his name's Dale. He's great. He's just sleeping all over the place. But Skywalker's in this one. I'm hoping there's a dog in a third one. There probably isn't, but I really want one. So it definitely has like a very Hallmarky type feel to it. And it is an LGBT love story. So, nice. So there we go. What's your last books?
So my last books is Debbie Mccumber. So this is the start of Cedar Cove. It's 16 Lighthouse Road. And this is the start of the spin-off series, Rose Harbor in Bloom, which is also set in Cedar Cove. But this takes place, so the Cedar Cove ones are different characters who live in the different parts of the towns. And they're really sweet and they're really great. This series is a little bit older. This also was a Hallmark show for a little bit. And then this one, the Rose Harbor series, I want to say it's about 5 or 6 books. It follows the main character. She opens a B&B, and it kind of follows the people in the B&B. So each book there's a new couple of people, and they come to the B&B, and they have some troubles, and there's lots of different romance plots, and then you see like familiar people coming in throughout the whole series. So those are both really fun, very charming small towns.
Cool. Alright, so that's been Give Luck for this week.
Wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
So next month we have a whole new bingo card, and it is
historical fiction.
So we'll talk a lot about that next month. We also will have some new prizes to showcase, so if you haven't gotten your Craig and mug, which we should have brought with us,
it's okay, we'll get it next time.
There is more mugs available, so...
Yes, so fill out your bingo cards, because also, just to reiterate, you get a bingo, you get your mug. You get a second bingo, you get entered into a raffle for a gift card at a local business. If you fill out a full entire sheet, you get entered into a larger raffle, of which we will talk about at a later date. That's like for the whole year.
Yes.
Cool. Alright, so, read those books, fill out those cards, get those raffle tickets. We'll see you next week.
Bye.